And Jesus said unto them, thus it is written, and thus it behoved the Christ to suffer, and to rise from the dead the third day, and that repentance and remission of sins should be preached in his name among all nations, beginning from Jerusalem. If I was there, I would have raised my hand. If there's anyone here that has ever been in the military before, you know that before you fight a war, you must have a strategy session. The strategy session is when the strategy is unfolded. The general that operates on the strategic level comes up with the strategy for the warfare that will be displayed on the theater. In that strategy session, you have the opportunity to ask all the questions that bother you. This is a strategy session. Me, I would have. You know why? I would have asked Jesus, why is it that you are talking about a revival? Why must we begin from Jerusalem? Oh, it has not occurred to you that it is impossible for you to make converts out of Jews. Jews believe that they are the first people upon the face of the earth that had a vital connection with Jehovah God. You don't make converts from Jews. Jews make converts from other religions and they become proselytes. So why put us into the theological struggle? Do we have enough vocabulary to convince a Jew that, why must it begin from Jerusalem? One of the things that authenticates the Bible was that the first disciples of Jesus were Jews. I need to tell you of the current sociological wonder that is staring us in the face. Imagine a people are displaced from their homeland for 1,800 years. Pastor Joseph, how many children do you have? You have 2 children. Your oldest child is how old? 7. Does he speak your language? He doesn't speak Idoma. Please sit down. Now, this is how many years? Do you understand that? Omoge, your first child is how old? Meanwhile, Pastor Joseph married an Idoma woman. Is it true? Okay, sorry. Let's start from, we need Doshima, your son, does he speak to you? He doesn't. Not fluently, but he's trying. Okay, you even tried. Pastor Ken, that your beloved daughter that you sent me her picture, can she understand the Igbo language? Those guys were displaced from their home country for 1,800 years. When they came back to their land, their language was intact. It's a sociological wonder. Where is Chief Donatus? Where are the sociologists? Can you understand? Can you explain that? It's a wonder. It's a wonder. Those are the people you want to convert. And Jesus said we should begin from Jerusalem. Why will we will make more converts in Samaria? Leave these people. But Jesus did not only declare the revival, he also dictated how the river of the influence of the revival should flow. And there were 2 times that he did that. In the book of Acts chapter 1 verse 8, are you there? From Jerusalem to what? Judea to where? To Samaria to where? Jesus dictated the flow of the river of. Don't go to Samaria if we have not conquered Judea. So the first question we need to ask is, what does Jesus know that we do not know? That Jesus is asking us to begin from Jerusalem. You know what he knows? It's about power. You know, one of the first things he told them in the book of Acts is that you cannot do kingdom business without power. There is no one human being that will not respond to power. So he said, beginning from Jerusalem. Go back to Luke. Go back to Luke chapter 24. and that repentance and remission of sins should be preached in his name among all nations, beginning from Jerusalem. Yes? And ye are witnesses of these things. And behold, are you there? I send the promise of my Father upon you, but tarry ye in the city of Jerusalem until ye be endued with power from on high. Does it occur to you that verse 49 is a notice of an appointment? The other time we spoke about our appointments, people from the corporate world gave us the three things that make an appointment: the venue of the appointment, the date of the appointment, and what? The time. Oh yeah, I like you. Can we go back to the kind of appointment Jesus gave? In the appointment Jesus gave, it's only venue that he revealed. He didn't reveal the date, and he did not reveal the time. So how do you meet up with this appointment? Tarry ye. Oh, you're not full. You know the reason why I said all of these things? When you set up the altar, then the next thing is, there is no time for your appointment has been processed. It has been processed, but you will not be notified of it. The only way you can collide with the appointment time and date is what? Tarry. Please help me tell your neighbor, in consistency lies the power. Now, my friend is in the hall. He will continue from here. So as I round up, wait. Keep. This week we have serious business. We have serious matters to attend to this week. Let me tell you my own personal testimony before I step down. Because the idea of this week is what you need to set up a personal altar. If all of us have a functional personal altar, the counseling line that appears before my table will reduce. Somebody sent me a message, and all my sisters, their marriages are not working. They have gone back to their to our father's house. I want to come and say, what are you coming to see me for? So what will I? So I should now. Hey, you know why everybody wants to see me? Nobody wants to tarry. And I'm not saying this to stop you from seeing me. I'm not saying this to stop. I'm just saying that let us add tarry into this matter. Everybody has left. They've gone back to our father's house. The reason why it happened like that is because nobody is tarrying. All of you people are sitting down hoping that something good will happen. Meanwhile, there are altars that are regulating the lives of these people. Nobody wants to tarry. They want to make the pastor a Superman. So when he comes, he can press button and say, Galaboko, Galakoko, Gaya, Kakakakakakaka. That is what they want to make a pastor. That's why most pastors are fake. They have gone to join themselves with Satan because, tell your neighbor, tarry. So when I went for youth service, I made up my mind before I departed for Kano, that I will pray the way I've never prayed before. I will fast the way I've never fasted. And I will give the way I've never given. That was my resolve. In order to help me keep my vow, when I got to camp, they stole my meal ticket. So the possibility of going back on my promise did not exist because the options were not many. May your meal ticket be. They stole my meal ticket the first night upon my arrival at the camp. So my fasting started almost immediately. Those were the days where we only had batch A and batch B. Batch A will come to camp in January, and batch B will come to camp in July. So we came to camp in January. The temperature of Kano that year was 11 degrees in the night. Now, do you know what it feels like? You want to begin a prayer adventure, and then the temperature now drops to 11 degrees. The meaning of 11 degrees is that is very convenient for sleeping. If you don't have something that is more than a New Year resolution, the circumstances will make you not to be able to fulfill your vow. So I began to push in prayer, began to push in fasting, began to push. Those were the days when camp was 30 days. And after 30 days, we were released. I got to the place where my accommodation was, and I continued in my prayer and fasting. The place was conducive. I found a hill. That is where I used to climb for my prayer. So when I come back from work, sometimes I come back from work by 5, I climb the mountain. I come back from the mountain by 11, sometimes 12 midnight, some other times. And I maintained it on a daily basis. So I was praying for January, prayed February, prayed March, prayed April, prayed May, prayed June. In June, God now told me, it was very clear. He said, I can see you are praying. So I got angry. I said, I've been praying since January. What was the meaning of that thing you came to? You know why? I was not trained. The reason why God spoke to me and told me those words that we may consider not to be important is because he had already scheduled the day of the appointment. And the way I was going, Satan was beginning to weary my heart because God seemed not to be responding. So in order not to allow Satan succeed with his mind bending, God said, I see you are praying. The meaning is, you have not reached the day of the appointment. Continue doing what you are doing. When the day of the appointment reaches, you will have your encounter. That was a prayer I did that I counted how many days I fasted. So it took 264 days before God encountered me. I will not be here today preaching to you if I didn't have that encounter. 264th day, I finished from my prayer on the mountain, came back into the room, because the prayer started becoming so intense that when I come from work with my tie, if I'm late, I don't drop it. I take the tie to the mountain. So I came back from the mountain with my tie on, entered into the room to remove my tie. It was 12 midnight. Right? That was when I ran into 4 angels in my room. They suspended time. This thing you call time was suspended. I was going into the past and into the future. They were taking me into the past and into the future, into the past and into the future. They left me by 3 a.m. in the morning. What I'm telling you is on the 20th of October, 2001. 20th of October, 2001. 21st of October, 2001. I came again, dropped my things, began to pray in tongues in the room. This time now, to go to the mountain, I've not gone. I came to the room, changed, to go to the mountain, then they stopped me. I was in that room until 3 a.m. in the morning, from 6 p.m. in the evening. It was in that second encounter that I knew that the place of my primary assignment was the city of Makurdi. Are you there? That's how divine direction came to me. When you start with a vow. If you continue, you will hit an encounter of your appointment. The day you hit the encounter of the appointment, the second point I want to raise starts. It is the supervising spirit of your altar that comes to visit you. It doesn't come as a friend, doesn't come as an acquaintance. It comes as a king. comes to prescribe. It comes to give you direction. He opens your eyes to see that you are off track. Are you there? So the human attendant must commence his assignment of priesthood with a solemn vow. This flame that I've kindled now, it will never go out. Go and study the temple. You will see a flame there that they commanded the priest that this flame should not go out. Priesthood is a lifetime thing. It's not hit and run. If you are not ready to begin, no problem. Go become a nominal Christian. But the day you get ready, just know that this fire that I'm kindling now, I will kindle it for life. If you are not ready for that challenge, don't worry. It's not for everybody. 264 days before God came. Sorry, it's not God that came, it's angels that came. When I started encountering angels, I was so happy because my power ministry now started at that point. I preached for 5 years with power before it occurred to me that it was not angels I was praying to encounter. It was Jehovah I was praying to encounter. So I repented. Are you there? And came back. You will encounter many things when you begin to do if prosperity can even fall upon you suddenly. And because of that prosperity, you'll be going to Port Harcourt bringing goods, going to Port Harcourt bringing goods, going to Lagos, you put goods in 911. You do that for 11 years. Then you will remember, it was not goods that I was looking for when I started. My own was the angels began to minister to me and I started power ministry. That's where that sensitivity to know if an angel is in the room is that time that I got it. When demons are walking out, I will know it. I will know the gift of discernment of spirit. Among all the prophetic gifts, the strongest of my life is discernment. I do business with invisible beings. If I know the song to sing for them to come, I know the song. If here, I can sing that song. If I sing it and continue singing it, it may not make sense to you, they will come here. No man taught me this. I learned it by the altar. There are lessons that you will learn by encounter. Please welcome my friend. Let him. He will minister to us.